All right, we are going to leave it there and shift our focus to some international news coming in, where US President Donald Trump has announced that he will speak to his Russian counterpart Putin regarding the war in Ukraine ahead of talks. Trump said that many final agreements have been agreed to, much remains. Trump's announcement regarding talks comes after he said last week that Ukraine had accepted a US proposed 30-day ceasefire. Aditya on the telecast with me. Aditya, of course, the phone call, the much awaited phone call is what we are talking about at this point of time. Take our viewers through the details.
Well, absolutely. When President Donald Trump, US President Donald Trump, and Russian President Vladimir Putin have had detailed discussions regarding the 30-day ceasefire to bring an end to this war, Russia-Ukraine war. There are certain modalities that need to be, made, and Donald Trump has, as per some reports, US President Donald Trump has pressurized Russian President Vladimir Putin to end this war immediately as he can, because since we already know that crucial minerals deal between US and Ukraine has been signed now, and in the past also we saw some statements from the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio that we are not considering sanctions, imposing sanctions on Russia, but we have some other costs to impose on it if it doesn't end this Ukraine war. Meanwhile, on the Russian side, Vladimir Putin has been constantly saying that Ukraine forces need to surrender themselves in the Kursk region and other regions, if they want to end this war. And recently what we saw that Russian President Vladimir Putin has also agreed to save the lives, to pardon the lives of many Ukrainian soldiers who have been captured by the Russian army. So this needs to be seen, Savri, as to how going forward, is there a ceasefire deal that can be worked out between Russia and Ukraine, and which will finally bring an end to this Russia-Ukraine war. Yes, Savri.
Right, absolutely. Aditya, stay on with us. Meanwhile, joining us at this point of time is Colonel J.S. Sodhi. So thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to us on NewsX. Now, of course, the crucial phone call is expected. Donald Trump is expected to make a call to Putin. How significant would this phone call be with regards to the war that prevails?
Savri, it's my honor to be on your esteemed channel. Well, the phone call between the American and the Russian president is probably the much awaited moment in the last 3 years, because this prolonged Russia-Ukraine war, which has stretched over 3 years, has affected every nation in the world and every global citizen. And every nation and global citizen today is waiting with bated breath when this war will end, so that the immense difficulties that everyone has been facing for the last 3 years come to an end. I'm certain that when the American president speaks to the Russian president, they will discuss the ways forward to end this war. Already much of the points have been agreed by the Russians. There are 2 or 3 small sticking points which can be resolved within the 2 presidents, because neither America nor Russia want now this war to prolong. As far as Russia is concerned, they have already gained their defense aims by capturing 18.2% of the Ukrainian territory as on date. The Americans have also got their minerals deal with Ukraine. So the Americans are laughing all the way to the bank. The Russians are happy with the amount of large territory that they have taken over from the Ukrainians. It is only Ukrainians who have suffered immensely in this war, apart from the other nations, because of the rising cost of living and the disrupted global supply chains. I am certain that as this call happens, very soon we will hear positive news of this war coming to an end pretty soon.
Right, so absolutely. With that, I'd like to thank you for joining us on the broadcast, sharing your perspectives with our viewers. On that note, we are going to slip into a very short break. Thanks for watching.
45 दिन तक चले महाकुंभ में कोटि-कोटि श्रद्धालुओं के साथ